Hi again. This one will probably be quite a bit quicker. This particular topic I find near and dear to me, so I wanted to put that one out there and see if anyone else experiences this type of issue. So the one I am going to speak to is again a blog by Amanda Evans, the blogger site. But it does come up as Amanda Krause, and I'll put that link in in the description. So this topic is about phone phobia, and I never ever thought of it as a typology trait, but when in this blogging post it really hit home that I'm like, that's pretty true to what I have felt most of my life. So she makes mention of just if you actually pick up the phone, you basically have been given a big surprise, because most INTJs she's mentioning in her personal experience, she just, as soon as she sees a caller ID flashing, she gets anxiety. And that's something that I find quite a bit too. And it's quite difficult. Something so seemingly innocuous, it actually is pretty something I really had to train myself to manage. And I still have a difficult time. Most of my stuff goes to voicemail because I just don't want to be caught off guard and have to have a long, lengthy conversation when I had other things planned. Or I don't want to deal with telemarketers or those types of things. So anyways, the idea of the anxiety, I had to quell a little bit myself, because especially when you're an entrepreneur and you have clients that are wanting to reach out to you, you really need to make sure that you're, stopping and doing what you need to do to support the client's needs. So I found definitely it helped to put their phone numbers immediately into my contacts, just so when I saw it, I knew who it was and I could answer. So she goes and she's talking about the phone phobia, and she mentions too the preferences for online services. So that hits me bang on. Perfect example for today. There is either the online services, or you could go into a store. I needed some particular stuff. And the idea of going into the store and driving there, dealing with people, lines, whatever, and maybe my stuff isn't even there that I need, I went online, and it's actually more of a pain to go online and cull through things, but just gave me so much more relief to just do it without having to interact with people. And that's gotten worse as I've gotten older, so I don't know if that's just an age thing or so many demands on my personal time that I am able to still be in my my hole, which is what I call it, when I need personal time to recharge. So maybe that's another aspect of, I don't have to have other people draining my already depleted reserves at times. So also she makes mention of procrastination on lists and causing the anxiety to return phone calls. And I can definitely attest to that. I will put my messages on a sticky note of who I need to return a call to, and many times those numbers stay on that list as I rewrite the list every day. And it could be something that could maybe be only a 5-minute call, but the idea of having to the worry that it's almost like mental Russian roulette, that you might be stuck on a phone call for longer than you need, and you don't want to take or waste the time, and then I become immobile, and I completely avoid and procrastinate to get those things done. So it is something that I definitely try to work on, because they do mention things like, if it can be done in 5 minutes or less, just do it. And it does feel very great when you actually do it. But it does seem that particular issue does seem to come up quite a bit with me. So the last one I'm going to mention is on her article. She mentions the complete disdain for FaceTime, and that is 100% me. I do not understand this love of FaceTime. First of all, half the time I look like garbage when I go on it, and not that you need to be vain, but you sit there and stare at yourself and while you're trying to talk to someone and they're staring at you, and all the awkward pauses that go through with the video issues, and all to have a conversation that you could have had over the phone, which is already a difficult thing. So I've had many times where people are like, let's FaceTime, and finally I just had to say, look, I absolutely detest FaceTime. So if there's anything else, if you want to FaceTime my children, absolutely, but I don't feel like having FaceTime. I can hear in your voice enough of the emotions that can be conveyed in order to have a meaningful discussion without having to see the other person. So anyways, interested to hear if anyone has similar issues. I'd love to hear it, because or if they have funny stories. It'd be interesting to hear in the comments on this topic. Well, and as always, videos requests, just make sure you put them in the comment section, and I will hope to address them. Thanks everyone, and hopefully we'll be posting another one shortly. Have a great day.